Okay, let's have a quick look at this. Write the value of 6 in here. Now 6 there is 6 tens. Okay, you can write 6 tens or you can write 60. Just go for 60. This 4 to the power of 4, just do it in your calculator. 4 to the power of 4 is 256. Square numbers between that, you could use 6 squared is 36. So that's the number, 36, or you could use 7 squared, which is 49. So any of those 6 or 36 or 49 will do. This, you can just change that to a calculator. Type that in your calculator as a fraction, 3 over 4, press SD, and it will change it to 0.75. Now, it will change it to 0.75. However, once it has a percentage, don't forget to times that by 100. Percentages are always out of 100. So that will give it 75%. Okay. I mean, if you wrote 0.75, you'll get that wrong. So make sure it's 75%. Here, probability Kevin passes his driving test is 0.4. Work out the probability that does not pass his driving test. Well, it's 1 take away 0.4 will give you 0.6. Okay. Chances it's not passing. Find the value of m given k is 17. So substitute k as 17. So 5k means 5 times. K is 17 minus 6. Just type that in your calculator. So I'm literally just doing that. 5 times 17 take away 6. Press equals, and it will just give you 79. Gives you the answer straight away. Okay. So don't need to worry too much about that one. Equilateral triangle. One thing about equilateral triangle, you should know that all the angles are the same. So there are 180 degrees in a triangle, shared by 3, that will give me 60 degrees. So that will be 60. Next one. School has 72 teachers, 240 year 11 students, 2/3 of the teachers and 9/10 of the year 11 students attend a prom. Work out the total number attending the prom. Okay, so first of all, 2/3 of means times 72. So just again do that in your calculator. 2 over 3 multiplied by 72. So 48 attended the prom here. Then 9/10 of the students, year 11s, which is times by 240. Again, just type it in your calculator. 9 over 10 times 240. So 216 attended the prom. So people who attended the prom altogether will be that plus that. So 260 will give you 264 people attended the prom. Number machines. So input goes in, add 7, this comes out, then goes back into this machine, divided by 4, output comes out. Now it tells you that the output, find the output when input is 11. So 11 goes in, plus 7, 18 comes out. 18 divided by 4. Now just do that again on your calculator. You're not going to get an exact answer. Well, you're not going to get a integer value. It's going to be 4.5. Just be careful, 4.5 or 4.5. Now the input, find the input when the output is 1. So this time you got 1. So you got to go in the opposite direction. When you're going in the opposite direction, you got to inverse these machines. So instead of divided by 4, it's going to become a times by 4. Okay, and then going back that way, instead of adding 7, it's going to be take away 7. So 1 times 4 is 4, then take away 7, that's going to be minus 3. So your input would have been minus 3. You can double check it. Minus 3 plus 7 is 4, divided by 4 is 1. Okay, let's look at this. It goes bar chart below shows the number of goals scored by 3 members of the football: Beth, Lucy and Ella. There's the number of goals. It goes here, write the ratio of number of goals Lucy scored to the number of goals Ella scored. Simplify your answer. So Lucy scored 12, Ella scored 9. Now if you simplify that, 3 goes, it's the highest common factor is 3. 3 into there is 4. And 3 into 9 is 3, so 4 to 3 will be the answer. Okay. The incomplete pictogram below shows the number of those scored by Beth. Okay, so from there, how many? I'm just going to put here. Beth scored 9. I know Beth scored 10. Ella scored 12, and sorry, Lucy scored 12, and Ella scored 9. Okay, so let's just put. So if that represents 10 goals, 2.5. So if 2.5 circles represents 10 goals, okay, that means if we double it, that one full circle. So if you divide that by 2.5, you're going to get one circle. One circle will represent, divided by 2.5, it's going to give me 4 goals. So let's write the key first. That one circle, 4, 8.5 total, that'd be 10. So full circle is equal to 4 goals. Now, Lucy scored 12, so that's going to be 4, 8, 12, and Ella scored 9, so that's going to be 4, 8. Now, that represents 2 semicircles, and then a quarter of a circle will represent 1. So 4, 8, and 1 is 9. Okay. Let's have a look at this two-way table. 60 people took part in a math challenge, so 60 people took part in that. We'll put that straight away there. Job done. All students received a certificate. Okay, one third of the students in year 8 and rest of year 9. 1/3 of the students were year 8 and the 2/3 were year 9. So basically we got the ratio 1 to 2, and that's going to be 60. So total part there is 3. Share that by 3. So you're going to get 20. 20 must have been year 8, and year 9 must be 40. So I'm going to write that first. That's going to be 20. That's going to be 40. We've done that bit. 5 students received gold certificates, and one of them was in year 8. So gold certificate 5, and one of them was year 8, so 4 must have been year 9. So we've done that bit. 26 students received a silver certificate, and 15 of them were year 9. So 26 received silver, and 15 were 9. So that means 11 were year 8. Okay, done that bit. So we can now complete the rest. So that plus that will give me 40. That plus that is 19. So that must be 21. Okay. So that plus onto that 25, 30, 40. Good. And then plus that is 12. Take away from there is 8. So they must add up to 20. Yeah. And then that plus that is 29. And you can double check. 29 plus 26 is going to give me 40. 55 plus 5 is 60. So I'm happy with that. All done. Okay, let's move on. So what we got so far here, question 12. It goes here. Tracy is booking a flight. She must choose her ticket type and seat location. So there's the ticket type: first class, business class, economy. Set location, window seat, aisle seat. Write down all the possible combinations Tracy can choose. So first of all, I'm going to call that F, I'm going to call that B, and I'm going to call that E. I'm going to call that window W, and A for aisle. So you could have first class with a window, first class with an aisle. Okay, you could have business with a window, or business with an aisle. Or you could have economy with window, and economy with an aisle. Okay, so those are all the possible outcomes. You got 6. 3 times 2 is 6. You got 6 different combos. Okay, stem and leaf. So it's give you the stem and leaf, it's told you that. Now already that looks not organized. Yes, it is organized, that's okay. So work out the median mass of goats. So first of all, how many goats are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now the way we get the median is we get the 19 with plus 1 and divide it by 2. So that's the position. So that will be 20 divided by 2, which is the 10th value in here, since it's in order, will give you the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this value represents median. Now before we go ahead, just double check you should have the same number on both sides. So on this side you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this side, which is the left side, and on the right side you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's just a crucial check. So what is the median class? That 1 is not a 1, but it's 31, that since it represents 31 kg. So that will be the median goat. Work out the range of the masses. Now this one here, this goat here is 51 kg. Take away, that's the highest, the range is the highest, take away the lowest, and the lowest is 18. Okay, now again, just do that on your calculator, don't need to be a hero, just make sure we're making little errors. That is going to give me 33, so the range in the sizes will be 33 kg. Highest take away the lowest. Okay, exchange rates. Let's have a look at this one. Here are some exchange rates: pound, dollar, and euro, and those are the exchange rates. Betty changes $200 into euros. Work out how many euros Betty will receive. Give your answers for 2 decimal places. So 200. First of all, what can we got? We got pound to euros, we got euros to dollars. Okay, so we haven't got that. So but we can get this. We can say that actually what can I do? What will be 200 euros? So first of all, 200 euros, I could change that to pounds, which will be 1.1 actually, what do I want to change it to? Euros. Okay, we've got that many dollars, and if I share that by 1.26, I can change that into pounds. Okay, so dollar by dollar cancels, so that will give me 200 divided by 1.26, and that will give me, now keep that result in your calculator, 158.730 blah blah blah. This is in pounds. Okay, so we now changed it because we had dollars into pounds. We've done that. So now we need to change that this way, so that for every £1 you get €1.17. So I need to, that's how many pounds I got. I times that by 1.17 to get them in euros. So multiply that 1.17. So that will give me euros 185.7142 blah blah blah. You want it to 2 decimal places, and then give your answer as 185.71. Okay, just take your time, make sure you keep your answers in the calculator and use those to work them out. Okay, let's have a quick go at this. Again, type this in your calculator. I would just say type in 1 minus 3 open bracket, then close bracket, and then you can start putting those values in. So if I put 1 minus 3 in the bracket, put minus 2, close bracket, I'll get 7 here. Then I'll go back on my cursor, change the minus 2 to minus 1, press equals, I'll get 4. Go back, and this time I can get rid of the minus and just put 1 there. That's going to give me minus 2. And already you should see this is going down in threes, so that will be minus 5, then minus 8. But you can double check on your calculator too. Make sure you spot the pattern. That will help you. Okay, so because it's going down, in the same amount, it will be a straight line. So if I plot those on this, so if I got -2, that's going to give me 7. If I got -1, I'm going to get 4. If I got 0, it's going to go to 1. If I got 1, it's going to go to -2. If I got -2, I mean 2, I got -5, and 3 was -8. Now again, use a ruler. I'm not going to, it's easier, but if you just, it's a bit difficult using a ruler on this, so you got pen and paper and a pencil, so just use the ruler and make sure you do it for the full length going along. Going from -2 all the way up to 3. You'll get marks deducted if you don't use the full length. Okay, let's have a quick go at this one. Let's just make this a bit bigger again. Okay, the formula below shows the size of each exterior angle with n size, so 360 shared by n. Use the formula to work at the exterior angle of a regular octagon. Octagon is 8 sides, so 360 shared by 8, and just do that again on your calculator. Should be 45. Yep, so that is 45 degrees. Now let's have a look at what this says. The exterior angle of a regular polygon with 10 sides is 36, which is correct. Yep, I'm happy with that. Alistair works out the exterior angle for a regular 20-sided shape. He says the exterior angle of the regular polygon 20-sided shape will be 2 times that, will be 72. Is Alistair, well, not really, it's because they're going down, aren't they? So let's just, it's easy enough to check it. Rather than times, you should have divided it, but let's just double check it. You just need to show that 360 shared by 20. You can take the 10s out straight away, so you've got 36 shared by 2, and really you should have halved it to get 18. The exterior angle is 18. Is Alistair correct? No, he should have halved. Spell that wrong, it should be with a V. Should have halved 36 to get 18 degrees. Okay, let's move on. Enough said. Okay, there's a head teacher wants to do a survey and finds out students doing homework. Here's a pie chart. It goes here, write down the ratio of students who said yes to the number of students said no. So this is 160. There are 360 degrees in the full turn, so that must be 200. So if I got yes, so he wants yes to the number of no. 160 said yes, 200 said no. Simplest form, first of all, get rid of those zeros. 16 to 20, what goes into both of them? 4. How many 4s into there is 4? How many 4s into there is 5? So simplified ratio 4 to 5. Okay. There are 120 students in year 11. The head teacher says the pie chart shows that not every year 11 student answered the survey. Explain why the head teacher is correct. Okay, it's because pie chart only measures proportionality, doesn't measure individual kind of results. So it's just pie chart, we can say that pie chart represents proportion, not exact values. Okay, so just need to put that represents proportions, not exact values. It just says a proportion of students. Okay, 18. Let's have a look at this one. Now this one's a bit tricky to do without tracing paper. Whenever you got to rotate something, can I ask you to ask for tracing paper? Put it onto there. It says once you got the tracing paper, you rotate it about the origin, and it's going to be 90 degrees clockwise, so it's going to go that way. Okay, so you'd expect that to move around I'll get it wrong anyway. So best thing is to use a tracing paper. I'm trying to work it out if I can do it with that tracing paper. It's probably gonna be there. 1 minute. Right, I'll come back to that one. I can't. That's gonna go there. For some reason, I'm getting it. It shouldn't be below. It should be within the quadrant. Let's try this one. 3. So that's 3 long, 2 down. So it's gonna be 2 long, 3 up. And this one, 3 long, 4 up, 4 long, 3 up. So it should be something like this, and this one was 1 long, 2 up, 2 long, 1 up. It should look something like that when you, yeah, something like that. Okay. Translate, that'll be a better one. So I'm going to call that triangle A, label it triangle A. Triangle B, translate the vector t by -2, -1, label it B. So basically you're shifting that backwards, then down. So if I get this spot here, if I take that -2 means go back 2 and then go down 1, go back 2, 1, 2, go down 1, this corner go back 2, 1, 2, go down 1. So that will get translated to here, and that's B. I'm just going to say that -2, -1, that means 2 to the left and 1 down. If they're positive, then it'll be to the right, and if that's positive, it'll be up. Okay, just bear that in mind. Okay, 19. The ratio of Millie's age to Lydia's age is 2 to 3. Millie is 30, so I'm just going to write Millie, Lydia. So Millie is 30. So what is Lydia's age? So that's been times by 15. So this must be times by 15. So Lydia will be 45. Okay. So we've got different shapes here: square, parallelogram, trapezium. Now 2 copies of the squares and trapezium and 1 copy of the parallelogram are used to find a rectangle. Okay, so we've got that as a rectangle. You got that. That's the 10 by 10. That's the square. There's the parallelogram, and there's the trapezium. So, okay. Right, I'm just going to say that's a square, so that's 10 by 10. So we've got this. I'm just going to write that 10 by 10 here. So A to B is 24. A to D is, so that's 3. Okay. Work at the area of the parallelogram. Work at the area of the trapezium. Okay. So if that's 10, that will be 3. And that height there to there, that will be 10. And this width from here to here we need to work out. Just give me 1 second. So that's going to be 10, that's going to be 10. So we need to be careful here. So if that's 10, that goes to 10. This will be 4, because that's 10. Okay, so remember that. That's 24. Now this is 4, this is 3. Now this is your typical Pythagorean. So if you got this, a 3 and a 4, this must be 5. Okay, you can double check that. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 9 plus 16, 25. And if we square root 25, get the hypotenuse, which is 5. Now that's important, because now since we got that, we can work out the parallelogram. The parallelogram, you got I just draw them out again. So you got this going like that, and parallel, that is 10, and this is 5. Now the best way to do this, if you think about it, it's just 10 times 5, which will give me 50 centimeters squared. The reason why that happens is if we cut that up and put it here, let me just work this out. Sorry, I might have got this wrong. So the perpendicular height here, I really needed that bit. Yeah, I didn't need the 5, my bad. You just need the perpendicular height. I just needed the 4. So we worked out 5, but we didn't need it. We might need it in the next one. But here, my bad, we just need this perpendicular height. Let me do it on here. What we got here, we worked out, we know that this here, if you look at it here, is 10, and the perpendicular height here is going to be 4. Okay, so really it should be 10 times 4, which is 40 centimeters squared. Sorry. Okay, so we don't need that Pythagorean yet. We might need it on the next one, we don't know. So I'm going to have a look. So how many marks for this trapezium? Work out the area of the trapezium. Now on the trapezium, you've got this, these are parallel. We know that this is 10, and we know that this one is going to be, that's 10, so that's going to be 14, and the perpendicular height here is actually 3. So actually we didn't need this, my bad, sorry about that. I thought I was trying to be a bit clever there. So if we go back here, the perpendicular height there is 3. That is what did we say, that is 10, and that is 14. So the area triangle, top at the bottom, times it by height, share it by 2, with the area. Alright, so that will be 10 plus the 14, times it by the height, and then share it by 2. So let's just work that out here. So that plus that is 24. 24, 3 divided by 2. Divided by 2 is going to give me 12. 3 times 12 is going to give me 36 centimeters squared. So you get those. Just give you a couple of seconds to think about that. So here is perpendicular height times the base, and here is top at the bottom times it by height, share it by 2, and that will be just length times width squared. Okay, let's move on. We've got write this in ordinary form. Calculator might do this, but you don't need the calculator. You got 3 zeros, 1 2 3, then you got the 8 9. That 3 means 3 zeros in front, and don't forget to put that decimal point in. This one I'll just type that straight in my calculator. If you all could do that, 4.8 10 to the 3 over 6 times 10 to the power 4. Then you got times 2.5 10 to the power minus 8. Okay, so on my calculator it gives me, I just typed that literally in the calculator, got 32 followed by 5 zeros. Okay, so you want it in standard form, which will be 3.2 times 10. Now if you put the decimal point there and you want it to go there, how many numbers are between there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there's going to be 6, and because they are to the right it's positive, those were to the left it's negative. Just be careful on that one. Okay, let's have a quick expand and simplify. X times x, x squared. X times minus 7, minus 7x. 7 times x, positive 7x. And 7 times minus 7 is minus 49. Now note that these numbers in the middle will cancel, so you'll end up with x squared minus 49. This is also known as difference between two squares. Factorize. So when we're factorizing, remember you've got to open bracket, close bracket, open bracket, close bracket, x in each corner. Then you've got to look at 36 and write down all the factors of 36. So 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times doesn't go, yes it does, 12, 4 times 9, 5 doesn't, and then you get back to 6 times 6. Okay, so you've got all the factors there. And which one adds up to 13? That doesn't. That adds up to 20. That adds up to 15. There we go. That's the only one that will add up to 13. A 4 and a 9. Make sure you write your 4 properly. And they're both positive. I'm going to write that again because my writing does not look great there. X plus 9. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward if you stick to that method. Highest common, right, so let's see if there are any numbers. No, there's no numbers big in there. So highest common factor between that and that. So I'm thinking of, so I know 9 goes into there 7 times. Let's check if 9 goes into 105 divided by 9. No, it doesn't. So the next factor, let's 31. I'm going to double check 31 goes into there to start. 105 divided by 31. No, it doesn't. So I'm just getting all the, all I'm going to do is 63. I'll get all the factors. 1, 63, that doesn't, 2 doesn't go into it, 3 and goes into it 31 times. 4 doesn't, 5 doesn't, 6 doesn't, 7, 7 times 9.
Just 3 and 21.
3 and 21, sorry, my bad. I said 31, my bad. 7 times 9, and that's the only ones. So let's try 7. Does 7 go into 105 divided by 7? Yes, it does, 15 times. So that is the highest common factor that's going to go into both of them. So that will be 7. Okay. The next one, find the lowest common multiple. Now again, go on your calculator, press 48, then press equals. So 48, press equals, that stores as your answer. Then do 48, add 48, and then it will give you the 48 times table. The next one is 96. Check if 80 goes into it. No, it doesn't. So press equals again. 1 minute. 48 equals 48. No, answer, add. Should have done answer, add 48. Get 96. Next one will give me 144. That does not go into it. Next one is 192. Does 80 go into it? No, it doesn't. Next one is 240. Bingo. That's the lowest common multiple, 240. Okay, that's what they both will go into. I think that's the easiest way to do it, the way it comes up in our exam. There are other ways, but I'm sticking with that one. So what you do again, I'm going to repeat, 48, press equals, you get your answer, do answer plus 48, then keep on pressing equals, gives you the 48 times table, and check if 80 goes into it also. Right, if I was a betting man, this is definitely going to come up, okay, because it hasn't. So this is where you get right down the model class. Now the model class is one with the highest frequency. So the highest frequency is that, but that is not the model class. This is the class where p is less than or equal to 10, greater than 0. Okay, that's the first thing to know. Now, next thing is, I'm just going to erase that out, is find down, oh, it doesn't. It goes find down the interval for the median class. It normally tells you find out the mean, but it hasn't. So that's okay. So the median class is 55. If you got 55, you always add 1, then divide it by 2. So that gives me 56 divided by 2 gives me 28. Where is the position of the 28? Well, you can't tell straight away. We have to do what is known as a cumulative frequency. We're going to add up until we get to 28. So this includes the first 21 prices. Then it's add 8 onto there, gives me 29. So that we can stop here because that will include the 28th value. So this here is where the median class interval will lie. So P will be less than or equal to 20, greater than 10 is the class interval. Okay. Just putting it out there because I reckon this one will come. Finding the mean. If you have to find the mean, you have to take the midpoint. Okay. Once you got all the midpoints, you times them by the frequency. Once you get these, which is midpoint times frequency, you total that up. And then once that total, you divide it by the total frequency, which is 55 in this case. Okay. So that's how you find the mean. You get the midpoints, you multiply it by the frequency, you add all those up, divide it by total frequency. That'll give you the mean. I'm pretty sure that will come up if I was a betting man. Okay, this is a quadratic. Shows that right down the corners of the turning point. Now when does the graph turn? It's also known as the vertex is there. So that corners of the turning point is go along the corridor up the stairs. So x is -1. And this time it's not up the stairs, it's down the stairs by -3. So that is the turning point. You go along -1 and then go down 3. Use the graph to estimate the solution when that is equal to 0. So when is the graph equal to 0? It's equal to 0 here. And it's equal to 0 here. So the estimates are going to be x when it's 0.7 or when x is equal to minus 2.7. That's when the graph will equal 0. Okay, let's move on. Here is a rectangle ABCD. So it goes AB is increased by 12%, BC is decreased by 25%. Work out the area of the resulting. So if that's been decreased, I'm always going to start with 100%. That's increased, so that means add 12%. So this value will be increased by 112%. And this one is decreased, so always start with 100%. Decrease means take away 25%. So this means this value has gone down by 75%. So all you need to do is times that by 112 on your calculator. Use your percentage sign on your calculator. And B to C, you're going to times that by 75%. So I'm going to just literally do that on my calculator. I'm going to 320 multiplied by 112 shift percent. And that will give me this to be 358.4. Now it increases, so it should go up. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong. And this one, I'm going to do 180 times 75 shift. Answer gives me percent. And that's decrease should go down, which it does, 35. Now to find the area, you do 358.4 times 135. So multiply those together to get the area of the rectangle, the new rectangle, and you will get 48,384 centimeters squared. Okay. Sometimes it might ask you, does that increase or decrease the area? You can work out the area and then give your answer whether it increases or decreases the area. Okay, let's just quickly have a go at these last couple of questions. Triangle ABC is a, so we've got that, work out the AB. I'm going to call that X. Now, before we start, that is called the opposite, that is hypotenuse, that is adjacent. Label the triangles. We've got this, we've got the A, and we're being given O. There's nothing about H. Then quickly say, sunbathing on holiday can always harm the old age. So which one has A and O? A and O, no. A and O, no. This is the only one that has A and O, which is the tan function. So I'm going to draw that again, this time slightly bigger, and I'm going to change the letters for numbers. O is 15, A is X, and tan, T stands for tan. You must always put the angle with it, 77. So X is going to equal 15 over tan of 77. So if we're just going to type that in my calculator, 15 divided by tan 77. Make sure your calculator is in degrees. which is a small degree at the top. So I'm going to get 3.463, etc. And then to one decimal place, that will be 3.5. So always best to write more and then round it up later. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. It goes here. Here's a part of a full circle with 90 degrees missing. Work out the length of the arc ABC. So ABC. So we need to find this arc. Now that's almost a circumference. It's actually 3/4 of a circumference. So the radius here is 6 because it goes to the center here. Okay, so what I can do is to find out the circumference normally is pi times diameter. In this case, diameter will be 12. If that's radius, diameter equals 12. It's double the radius. So circumference will be pi times 12. But I don't want the full circumference. I want 3/4 of it. Okay, that's 90 degrees. So that will be 270 degrees. And that will be 270 degrees out of 360. Or you could just say 3/4 of it. But let's have a look at that. So if we do 3/4, oh, I'm just going to do 270. Let calculator do all the sweating. 360. 270 over 360 times 12 times shift pi. You're going to get 9 pi. If you press SD, you're going to get 28.274 blah blah blah. One decimal place, 28.3 centimeters. Okay. Last sheet, last question. Let's just have a look at this one. Convert this into centimeter squared. So first of all, remember that meter has 100 centimeters.
Found
Okay.
another one last night.
Thank you. So meter squared will be 100 centimeters times 100 centimeters, which equals 1 with 4 zeros, centimeter squared. So when we change that, that's going to be 1 meter squared equals that. Now times both by 9. Times that by 9, you get 9 with 4 zeros, centimeters squared. So that will be 90,000. Next one, make x the subject. First of all, take c to the other side, so you get y minus c equals mx. And then divide it by m. So y minus c divided by m equals x. So you have made x the subject now. Before it was y the subject. And that's it. Job done.